This is Koh, and this is what I use in my van, heaps, for almost everything in fact. Today I am going to give you a demonstration of Koh and how I use it in the van. I've mentioned it in previous videos, and I think some of you might be interested to know how I use it as almost my sole cleaning thing in the van. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I use it for a whole lot of things inside my van. Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Coralie. This is the van that I travel in. And today I am going to show you how I use Koh for cleaning pretty much everything in my van. This is not paid, it's not sponsored at all. This is just stuff that I use a lot at home and in my van, and I wanted to show you the ways in which I use it. So thanks for joining me to see how I use this in my van. So today I'm going to demonstrate how I use Koh in my van. I've been using Koh in my home for ages, and I brought it along with me to use in my van when we go traveling. And it's just brilliant stuff. It is virtually odorless. It cleans really well. It gets grease off, it gets stains off, it gets all sorts of things clean. And I want to demonstrate for you how I use that. Koh is not available everywhere. I do know it's available in Australia and it's available in the UK. So if you are in either of those two places, you can get this stuff, and I think you'll find it as great as I do. So I'm going to start with demonstrating this on some greasy stuff. So I've got the pan that I use in my van, and I'm going to put some butter on this. This is just Nuttelex, and I've got a paper towel so I don't get greasy fingers. I'm going to wipe a little bit on this paper towel. You can probably see there's butter on there. And my fry pan, and I'm just going to rub some butter on my fry pan. Okay, you can see that there. So that's a fair bit of butter. Let's pretend it was spread around as though I was cooking or something. Now, this happens to be a Norwex cloth. You could use any microfiber cloth you like. This is the ones that I happen to have handy in my van. There's one here that I use, which should probably go in the wash actually. But this is one I brought from inside. All I have done is dampened it to make it easier to absorb Koh and other stuff. So this is my Koh in the bottle, and I'm going to give it a brief spray like that. And then wipe that with my microfiber cloth. So that is just Koh, and because I only gave it a light spray, it's not soaking wet. I don't actually need to dry this with anything. Now, that's my cloth. I'm wiping my fingers and I cannot feel the oil on there. Microfiber tends to absorb the dirt and it holds it in it, and it doesn't release it again. So instead of just smearing the butter around, it actually does pick it up and get rid of it. I'm going to wipe that on my face to show you. So it's not greasy. And this, oh, I actually missed a corner. I can feel that corner that I missed. And yeah, perfectly clean. Next thing I was going to demonstrate was a plate. So these are use cases that I might have in my van when I'm traveling and having adventures in my van here. So more butter. You can see the butter. All right, so there's some butter, spreading that around. So imagine I had a buttery sandwich or something with oil and grease. And again, spray it with my Koh. Doesn't need a heavy spray at all, just a light spray. And a wipe. It's just gone. I love this stuff. Again, I still can't feel the butter on there. You have to have that pretty loaded up. Okay, I'm sort of maybe just starting to feel a little bit, but that was some pretty heavy butter. And this is almost completely dry. I'm going to hold it in front of my fan here for a minute, just to get the excess moisture off. And that is completely dry and clean. All you can see are the vague scratches from this being in use. If you're finding this helpful and you enjoy my videos, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. It helps other people see my videos. So if you're enjoying it, do that and it helps spread the word. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. Okay, one of the other uses that I use Koh for constantly is the pee bottles that we use in the van. This is mine. Alexis and I have a dedicated pee bottle. We do have our little toilet in the van, which I'll actually show you how I clean that later. But if we're only doing a pee, then we use these pee bottles. They have a nice wide open mouth on them, and sometimes they might go for a couple of days without being washed. Now, I haven't used these for ages. There's no pee in them currently. I'm going to give them a whiff. I think I can smell it a little bit from here. Okay, it's I was really worried. It's actually not so bad. Now, these have had pee in them for days and days and days at a time, and as you might know, plastic is actually a little bit porous, so it will absorb pee smell. Now, I have cleaned these with Koh the last time we used it, and I emptied them, but sometimes if you've got something that has been sitting there for a long time that will have absorbed the smells, you may need to use it a few times. So what I do is I just spray that in there, and sometimes I do a bit of a heavy spray, and I'll just leave it. I'll just put the lid on. Oops. I'll just put the lid on and I'll leave it sit for a little while, and then that Koh can just work on that. And then, I mean, it doesn't even need a rinse afterwards because the Koh doesn't smell like anything, and you can just add urine to that and it won't make any difference whatsoever. That is another thing that I use Koh for, to de-stink our pee bottles. This is a t-shirt that I was wearing. It doesn't actually have any stains on it, so you'll just have to trust me that I have used Koh for stain removal heaps. I am a grot when I eat. I actually am quite a bit of a grot when I eat, and I constantly spill stuff on my shirts, which is why I don't often wear light coloured shirts, because within 3 wears I will stain it irreparably just from eating. And so there aren't currently any stains on this shirt that I can see, and being a red shirt it's not super obvious anyway, but I often drop tomato-y things on me. I have my iced chocolate drink that I have a lot, and chocolate stains as well. Whenever I have dropped anything on clothing, even if we're actually wearing it at the time, what I will do is I will give it, like just say it's on the bottom here, I'll give it a bit of a solid spray so it's actually wet. Then what I will do is I will rub it and rub and rub and rub and rub the stain on the spot. Like I'll usually get my hand behind it or rub it against my belly or something if that's where I put the stain. And I'll just treat that spot and I'll give it a few rubs, gentle rubs like that. And then if it's still not out, I'll give it another spray and I'll keep scrubbing. And sometimes it takes about 3 sprays, but that will get stains out and it works really well. But the other reason I have this t-shirt here is that I was going to tell you how it is really good for freshening up clothing. In my last video, I did mention ways that you can freshen up clothing, and you can use like antibacterial sprays. Now, it's not, I don't think this is plugged as antibacterial, but I know that it does remove smell, and it's very good at removing urine smell. We used it when we had a cat that used to pee in the shower, and every time you turn the hot water on, even if you rinse the urine away fairly quickly, the urine smell would come up when you were having a hot shower. And
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Even when you're not doing something enjoyable, cat pee smell is disgusting, so it would ruin a good shower. And we discovered how good this was on urine because after we would wash away the urine, I would go and spray it heavily with Koh, and I would just let it sit there, and then the next time we had a hot shower, the urine smell didn't come up again. So it's magic for that. So yeah, it also works for clothing. I know it doesn't bleach clothing because I've cleaned stains off clothing so many times. So what you can do with this is the underarm of my shirt. What I did the other day just to test it out is I did give a heavy spray on the underarm. I tested just one underarm to sort of compare the stinky one to the non-stinky one. So this is a shirt that I wore for a while in fairly hot weather. So you can see that's getting a little bit damp there. And then I'll just make sure it's not dripping. I'll just give it another light spray, let it sit and soak in, and then just make sure I cover all the parts. All the bits that might be stinky. And then I'll just hang that up to dry. It will get another day out of it at least before it starts to sort of get smelly again. Now, obviously it doesn't replace laundering your clothing, but if you need to refresh a t-shirt for an extra day or something, that will do the job. Yeah, I'll just leave that to dry. This is going to go in the wash anyway because I already tested it the other day to sort of see how good it was at de-stinking it, and it does a great job. Now, if I want to demonstrate this last thing, I'm going to have to rearrange the camera. So this is my cuddy composting toilet. It's actually pretty clean anyway because we always clean it every time after we use it. Basically, when I do this, I will give it a spray all around there and the plates and the front, and then just give it a wipe. Obviously, I would not use this cloth for cleaning any of our dishes afterwards. Most often what we'll actually do is wipe this down with a bit of loo paper after we've finished using it. And then we'll put the loo paper in with the other loo paper that we keep to dispose of either like in a fire or into the toilet. So that is my toilet now here cleaned. And then I can just put that away again, put its little hat on, and slide it back into place. That's it for today. That's actually all I wanted to show you, because I use this stuff so much. As I said, it's not sponsored. They didn't pay me. I've been using this stuff for years. I wouldn't mind it if they sponsored me, but I don't think they do sponsorships. And it's really good stuff. I use it all the time, and I wanted to show you how I use it in my van. So if you can get a hold of this stuff to try it, I think you'll find it really handy as well. So just to recap, I do use it on my clothing regularly to get off small stains. Use it on the underarms of stinky clothing if you want to refresh them. Use it to clean my dishes when I'm camping, because it saves a whole lot of water. That was what my last video was about, and one of the ways that I save water is by using Koh, because you don't need to rinse this stuff off, and it's been perfect. I love it. So thank you for joining me for this video. I will see you on the next one. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up button. That will help other people to find my videos, and they might find this stuff useful as well. Also, please subscribe, and if you're going to subscribe, hit the little bell thingy and you can get notifications for when I upload a next video. Thank you also to my awesome patrons. You are all so wonderful, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks again. Bye.